Hey. So, welcome to the 29th edition of the Take One podcast. And, man, it's been a while. But, you get in that lazy, complacent mode and you just procrastinate until it's just nothing gets done. And there's no excuse. That's just basically what it is. We all have the days, we all have the weeks, we all have the months, and I had the months. So, yeah. But I'm finally back, and I'm going to be trying my hardest. I'm going to be pushing myself to push out at least one Take One podcast per week, like I was doing it before. And so, this episode coming back in the fray is that I'm going to be talking about a few topics. Now, I'm going to be making these shorter, like I told you, like within the last few Take One podcasts, like I've been making them short. I've done almost close to an hour episodes and stuff like that. I'm going to be trying to keep it at 20, 30 minutes, maybe 40 if I feel like I need to go that long, or just whatever. But I'm really trying to keep it around 20 some 30 minutes or whatever. So with that said, I have a few topics that I want to touch on, and I'm going to basically start off with not what the title says of this podcast, but to start off with like movies that, kind of need a reboot or just need to die. Now, my whole take of this is just basically, I don't know, like certain movies, it depends. If certain movies need a reboot, let's just get on that whole thing. Not every movie needs a reboot. Certain movies do, especially if it's a movie and it did bad. Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah, you probably could do a reboot. Or if you have a new vision that may work, then I could see, okay, do a reboot. But certain movies, I don't know, you kind of need to leave alone. And it's just, when you going into that, it's like, you have to be kind of like, I don't know, you have to do things differently. I feel like because you have a new, I say generation, a new audience than we did 10 years from now. Well, not 10 years from now, but 10 years ago. So everything has to be slightly different. So, I don't know, like, I guess it's all in how you do it. I don't have any movies specifically in mind, but I know certain movies that you don't need to touch on. You don't need to touch Jaws. Jaws is one of those movies where it was good where it came out, because around that time there was no shark movies like it was. Back to the Future is another one. I feel like you don't need to touch that. I mean, of course there will probably be great ideas, but I guarantee you it won't. People will not take it as good as the first one or the first two or whatever. And it's just, like I said, we don't need a reboot for anything, but I feel like if you want to put your own spin to it and you want to do something different. Oh, y'all hear that car alarm. Let me close this window. Hold on one second. And y'all probably still can hear it. But yeah, I wasn't going to stop and edit this out. This is the real me. But in any case, somebody don't stop that car alarm. But yeah, it's just, I feel like if you have a good vision for it and you have a clear focus on what you want, then go for it. We're always gonna have the original, but it's just, if you do it for the right reasons, do it. But also, it's other movies that do just need to die. And I'm not just talking about just if it's a bad movie, just don't remake it at all or whatever. I mean, it's some instances like that, quite cool. But it's certain movies that have franchises that go for a long time. They'll have movie after movie, and then it starts to downgrade, And I feel like it's certain movies that just stop. Just leave it alone. And basically what I'm getting at is that recently I had came across, and I know it's probably been out for weeks or maybe even months, but the trailer for Cult of Chucky. Now, Chucky, what can I say about Chucky? A Child's Play. Okay, so the first two movies I like of Chucky. First two movies was good. The third movie went just no. It was just bad. The third movie, it was just it just was not there at all. Bride of Chucky, I did enjoy. I can say that's a guilty pleasure. It's one of those movies, a guilty pleasure. Seed of Chucky did not need to be made. Seed of Chucky was fucking horrible. Just bad. Oh my god, that's one of those movies that, yeah. And then Curse of Chucky was just okay, And now we got Code of Chucky. At this point, it's like, just let it die. Just don't do it. I don't even know if the movie can be rebooted or remade or however you want to put it. I don't know if it even can be redone. Chucky has an iconic look to him. And it's like, with Jason, you can emulate that style. Freddy, you can emulate his style. And, I'm about to say Halloween. Michael Myers, you can emulate his style. You can, do stuff to where it's like you can do exactly the way they did it. Back in the originals. But Chucky, I don't know. It's like it would be like he has to have the same look. He has to. His face, he has a human face. I mean, he's a doll, but he has a human face. So what are you gonna change the look of Chucky? The look of Chucky, his face, what he wears and stuff like that is an iconic look. His face is a part of his look. So if you change that, unless you make the face creepy, I don't know. Like I can't see nobody reimagining Chucky. I can't see anybody reimagining it. Maybe changing the look just a tad bit, but it's like I don't know how it can be done. I really don't. I really don't. Because if you use the same doll, you might as well add on to the franchise, which they want to continue doing, and I don't understand it. I really don't. Chucky then fell off so hard. It's just they needed to stop. They really needed to stop after the third Chucky Child's Play 3. They really needed to stop after that because that was just bad. But really, they needed to stop after Bride of Chucky. But they proceeded to go on. Now, given Curse of Chucky was better than Seed of Chucky, but Code of Chucky is just it just needs to die. Along with the Saw franchise, I like the newest Saw movie that's coming out this year. It had its trailer, and I saw it earlier, I say maybe about a couple months back, and it was a good trailer. Don't get me wrong, it was a good trailer, but in the same sense, that franchise needs to die. I thought it was dead. They had the last one, and now it's they're starting it up again. I just don't get it. Certain ones you just need to leave alone. You just need to leave it alone. Certain movies deserve reboots, or you can give it a reboot. I ain't gonna say deserve it, but you can do a reboot with certain films. But other films, you just need to let it die. Chucky, if this movie is just mediocre or not good, just kill it. Don't make no more Chucky movies. Chucky, he's an iconic figure. Fluctuating movies of how good and bad they are, but it's just don't do anymore. Just leave it where it is. Just leave it where it motherfucking is, and that's it. Just don't do no more. I'm just getting tired of it. And Saw, I'm excited to see this new Saw because I was a fan of the Saw franchise. Not all of them was good. I can say that. They ran out of ideas after so many. It was just, after pumping them out every single year, they just ran out of ideas. Just was But certain movies like that, you just need to end it. Just let it die. And so moving on to the next one, which is basically the title topic, is Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi versus the Avengers Infinity War. Now, I know you guys thinking they're not going up against each other as far as in the same month and blah blah. Infinity War comes out months from now, 5-6 months from now. Last Jedi comes out 3 months from now and all this stuff. So how can you compare it? It's just basically just box office. Which movie is going to do more? You know? And hands down, I don't even have to think about this. Like, when I came up with just this Star Wars Episode 8 versus the Avengers Infinity War, it's a no-brainer. Infinity War is going to do the numbers. They're both going to do numbers. Don't get me wrong. They're both going to do numbers. But Infinity War is going to take the cake. It's going to take it. That's just plain and simple. And I'm going to leave it at that. So the next topic, now I'm just playing. But I'm going to give you my reasons why. So let's start off with Episode 8. Episode 8 is coming off the heels of The Force Awakens, which was a huge movie. It did blockbuster. It's one of the top 5 highest grossing films of all time. You know, it had ridiculous pre-order tickets and stuff like that. Like, I think what was it, Fandango? I think Fandango site crashed, if I'm not mistaken. It had crashed because so many people were trying to buy the tickets, and it was crazy. I mean, it was a good movie. It was a rehash of freaking A New Hope, but at the same time, it did good. It was a good movie and all that stuff. Episode 8 is coming off the heels of that. Now, this one don't have as much. In fact, I'm going to put it in this. Putting it up against The Force Awakens, I don't think it's going to do Force Awakens numbers. I think it's going to do high numbers. Don't get me wrong. It's going to do high numbers. It's not going to do Force Awakens numbers. It's not going to be, unless it's like extremely good. Like, knock your socks off and you're not even wearing socks. It's like, where the hell did these socks come from? Like, I wasn't even wearing socks. What the hell? You know, unless it's that good, it's not going to do Force Awakens numbers. For the simple fact that The Force Awakens is coming off the heels of the prequels. After we were told by George Lucas that we wasn't going to get any more Star Wars movies. We wasn't. So everyone, you know, wasn't even expecting it. Lucasfilm get bought out by Disney, and bam, we got new Star Wars movies. Now, it's coming. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna say it's coming off the heels of that, because it's actually coming off the heels, technically, of Rogue One. But since this is an episode film, it's coming off. I'm gonna say it's coming off the heels of Episode 1. But Rogue One does play a role. I mean, not Episode 1, but Episode 7. But Rogue One does play a role in its success, and I believe that. So, but to get back to the point is that it's like Episode 7 was coming off the heels of the prequels, in which we thought we wasn't gonna have none, and then all of a sudden we got this new Star Wars movie, and so just the anticipation of people wanting a good Star Wars film. Didn't know anything about it. Everything was secretive. Didn't have early screenings until the week of. That's how secretive it was. Nobody was saying anything. Nobody was like giving out answers. We didn't even know the plot until you saw the movie. So it was like, it was a lot of hype and a lot of stuff revolving around Episode 7. That's why it did its numbers. Episode 8, we came off the high of Episode 7. So it's basically like, we're still excited, but we're calmed down though. It's not as big of a hype. We already came off 2 good Star Wars films. So we know this is going to be good. So it's like I said, it's going to do the numbers. But it's not like the hype of Episode 7. Now, like I said, Rogue One plays a major role in it. Because Episode 1, I mean, not Episode, why am I saying Episode 1? Rogue One did numbers. Rogue One was a great film. A great film. As well as Rogue One is in the $1 billion club. So, with it being a good movie, so you have, under the new regime of Disney, you have Episode 7, $1 billion, Rogue One, $1 billion, and then this one, more than likely, is going to hit $1 billion. More than likely. I don't know if it's going to be up there with Episode 7 and it's going to do as much as that. It's just, I don't think so. I really don't. And that's just my prediction. Now, to get into why I think Infinity War is going to do it. Infinity War has the same mystique, I guess you could say it, of just the first Avengers movie. And the first Avengers movie was the first time that we saw Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the Hulk, all in the same movie. I mean, I would count, freaking Hawkeye and gosh, I'm about to say Scarlet Witch, Scarlett Johansson, the Black Widow, but we don't really care for too much of those characters. I mean, it's just all about the main characters, Iron Man and all them stuff. And so it's like when they came together, that was a big event. Seeing that they're all, they was in separate movies, but they're in one big feature film together. Like, man, this is like crazy looking at this. I can only imagine people who read comic books and was in love with the Avengers and and this is coming off the pages of the comic books onto the big screen in live action. And not only that, was actually a phenomenal, great movie. It was a great film. Still is a great film. I saw it recently. I rewatched it recently. It's still a great film. I can only imagine what was going through a for lack of better terms, nerd or geek or comic book nerd. I can only imagine what was going through their minds when that movie came out and seeing it. I can only imagine. And so it was like seeing that was just an awesome feeling. And so when you came to Age of Ultron, it was like, okay, we seen these, characters together. So it just it didn't have the mystique of the first one. And even Civil War was a little bit more exciting because you got them going against each other, whatever. But still it was just whatever. But this one, it's like it has the same mystique, I feel, of the first Avengers movie. Because you have characters that have not been together. I guess you could say is like bringing Guardians of the Galaxy, who have had their own films, but has not came across Thor and the Avengers and stuff, and Spider-Man and stuff. And I mean, all the other ones have been in the movies together. Of course, majority of them were in Civil War. But you're going to have freaking the Hulk in this film. You're going to have Guardians of the Galaxy, you're gonna have Thor, all the Avengers and stuff. Even the people that's not the Avengers, probably the future Avengers, like Winter Soldier and freaking Black Panther and stuff like that. And you're probably gonna have all like a couple other side characters, and then you have the big bad, the guy from the first Avengers movie that is basically been in that just basically is just what comes to a head. You have him. And all the Avengers, it's going to take like 15,000 people just to go at this one entity. So it's a big event. And that's the best way I can describe it. It is an event. It's epic. It's an event. It's an epic event. That's basically what it is. This move, like if you can't tell, I'm getting excited explaining this, just saying this is like for a superhero movie nerd or just a comic book geek, just a person that is involved with these characters, not only from the films but from the comic books. Even just for a person like me who love these comic book movies, this is kind of like a Super Bowl. This is the event. This is the WrestleMania. Like, I mean, you got DC who's putting out Justice League this year. It probably might be a good movie, but it has nothing. The thing is like I could make a podcast or a quick take of Justice League or Infinity War. Which one is gonna do better? Unless Justice League come out and surprise me, I still don't think it's gonna do better. I really don't. It could be like a perfect movie, Justice League. I don't think it's going to be better than, or it's gonna go bigger than Infinity War. Infinity War is guaranteed $1 billion right now. I'm telling you right now. That's just my perspective, and not only just the dots that are connecting with this movie of what I just said, but the all-star cast. This is, not only to my memory, this is the biggest, and I mean the biggest all-star cast movie ever in film history. Have anybody ever thought about that? Like, literally, like, just think about all of the all-star cast that you have in movies. You might have Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, 13, whatever. You might have like what's the movie Smoking Aces. I mean, some of them went like real big stars, but just think about all the movies that have crazy amounts of stars up in there. But think about this movie. You have freaking Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, Zoe. I don't even know how to pronounce her last name, but you know who I'm talking about. Dave Bautista. You have freaking Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel. That's most of the the Guardians of the Galaxy. You have Mark Ruffalo. You have Scarlett Johansson. You have Jeremy Renner. You have freaking Tom Holland, who's coming up. And he's basically a known name now. You have freaking who else? Chadwick Boseman. You have Anthony Mackie. You have Elizabeth Olsen. You have just countless people. Don Cheadle. Like it's so many people just to come off the head. You can't really get it all, but it's crazy. Like, you have a all-star cast, like the biggest. If there is one bigger, let me know. Put it down there in the comment section below. But to my knowledge, this is the biggest all-star cast ever in film history. In like one single movie. This is an event. So hands down, like I said, hands freaking down, just Infinity War. Infinity War wins hands down. Like I said, both of them, I believe, are going to be in the $1 billion club. Both of them will be in the $1 billion club. But I think Infinity War has the potential, more than anything, more potential to be in the top 5 than The Last Jedi. And that is my prediction. That is my freaking prediction. And I'm sticking to it. And I think that's what I'm going to just all cover. I mean, it's just 2 subjects, but like I said, I'm trying to keep it like short and all this stuff. I had a lot to say about this. I had a 3rd topic that I wanted to touch on, but it's whatever. I'm going ahead and call it a night, because I am recording this at night. But in any case, thank you guys for joining me on the 29th edition of the Take One podcast. And I'm so sorry that I have not been putting out anything. I mean, just anything. But that's all going to change. I am working on just my rebranding of my whole YouTube channel and just everything that goes along with it, from just the reviews to just putting out other type of videos. And I'm working on a lot of that stuff, so you can expect to see a lot more. I'm going to be working my ass off. I already got like a lot of stuff in the can that I need to go ahead and put up. Well, not put up, but put together and all this stuff, so I can get ready for this. And yeah, I'm gonna hopefully have things ready. I'm going to be pushing myself. I've been drinking a lot of Dunkin' Donuts coffee with turbo in it and just doing my thing. But there's going to be a lot more content coming out within the next weeks and stuff like that. And as I get caught up on the movie reviews that I haven't been putting out, then I probably might start putting out fewer things throughout the week. But expect a lot going throughout these next couple weeks. Or next few weeks. I don't know. Several weeks. Let's put it like that. So, yeah. I mean, and that's it. That's all I really have to cover. Like I said, this has been the 29th edition of the Take One podcast. Thank you guys for listening. If you agree with what I said or disagree, or if you just have your own little comments or whatever, go ahead, sound off in the comment section below. And everything is in the description below as well, from just checking out my movie reviews of the past podcasts and everything else. And just stay tuned. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification button is so that you get notified for anything that pops up on my channel. And I think that's about it. So I will catch you guys on the next Take One podcast. Peace.